Hi, it's Mag, and the sun just came out, so I'm hiding behind a tree. It's beautiful. It's still winter in a lot of the country, and but there's still lots of things to do in a garden, in any garden. And I wanted to kind of just try this uh, gardening series to share with you anyway. Some ideas about what I started to call biodynamic gardening, but it's more than that. It's not just one thing, it's many different things. It's just uh, something I am experimenting with. I have been for a number of years, but I like the idea of biodynamic gardening because really it's about getting connected to spirit, to energy, whatever you want to call it. We're all connected, and that's the difference in this type of approach to gardening. It's about being aware of the rhythms of nature, the moon, the stars, and even the seeds. So, it's combined with kind of an organic gardening approach. It's combined with different styles of gardening, like French intensive gardening or companion planting, lots of little tricks and techniques over the years gardeners have been using. I've been very, very fortunate. I have my parents' garden to work with. And when we were living in London, we had our own garden, and I had missed a number of years without a garden. And so nice to be back again. And in fact, the gardening project here for me is more about healing. So it's healing for me, it's healing for the planet, and I think one of the deepest things about this gardening and this approach is about intention. So as a healer, as a coach, as a spiritually based person, I believe in intention. And you can just give this a try because I'll show you some results I got just recently. So I'm deep into the garden, and like I mentioned, I'm very fortunate to have land to work with. And so I've been developing these plots for a number of years. My father had worked on it even earlier, and I've been working with it for the last 6 years. So here's some work I had just done. This bed had been sitting for most of the winter, and this one I dug up in the week since the last time we spoke. So these have already structures and trellises, and my plan is to grow peas here, beans later in the year perhaps. And I wanted to take you up here to another bed that I'm just working on. I'm not going to show you the mess of my garden shed at the moment, but later. So here's this plot I've redug. So I'm splitting it into 4 parts. So kind of a grid, which is something I'm going to experiment with. Again, I grew peas and squashes, and you can see some Swiss chard in the ground still. And I'm just going to start new. I think I might leave the little garlic plants I have here. I don't know if you can see that. But the idea for this video series is just to kind of show that, everything is possible. And wherever you are starting in gardening, I'll show you some of the mess that I've had here for quite a while and what it could be like later, so you can see before and after. So I'm going to go into the greenhouse because this is where some very interesting experiments have resulted in some early germination, meaning the seeds, although in the package they say anywhere from 5 to 7 days to germinate, these germinated in 2. So I planted these about a week ago, and I did some videos. So I'm going to turn the camera around if I can. Anyway. These are two types of broccoli that I seeded a week ago, and these came up. These are my dad's tomato plants. They've been going. They're on to the second leaves now. These are some herbs I got. I'm experimenting with Japanese herbs and another herb that's used in Ayurvedic medicine. And these are anything from green onions to pak choi, Thai basil. They're almost all coming up. I've kept them warm, covered, 15 hours of daylight under these lights. So this is also more pak choi, and I'm experimenting with this purslane. I've never had that before, but my sister encouraged me to grow that for her. And holy basil, which is something I want to try for other healing purposes. But I'll tell you, something very interesting that I did with the seeds was I set them on a crystal grid. And if you work with crystals, of course you're familiar with using grids. I'm new, but I set a day with those seeds on a grid, and with the intention of them growing really well and providing food for us over the whole season, and that we would enjoy and appreciate them. And that's how these came to be in 2 days, at least some of these. Yeah, these. And as an experiment, I thought it was impressive. Anyway, the thing is, any kind of gardening or anything you do, if you put intention with that, there is a better chance, I believe, to achieve that. And we were listening to Wayne Dyer on the way back from an event we went to, first time in years that we've been to a public event, and it was wonderful. I have to thank Rani for that, and Brian for hosting that party. I'm a part of their community and sharing some things together. Look out for that soon, because I urge you to support Rani. Yeah, so we're out a little bit late, but the thing is, in intention, when I was saying that on the way back, Wayne Dyer, was one of the earliest people that inspired us, along with Louise Hay. And then, 20 years later, Dr. Bruce Lipton comes along and confirms some of the power behind intention. It's all about vibration. It's all about energy. So plants, of course, and seeds have energy. And if we put intention to them, and also with a bit of knowledge and experience, you'll be fine. You'll be a great gardener. So it's like doing everything, with love. It's better. So watch out for more, because it'll be a busy time when these get ready to be potted on. I'm preparing the beds down below so that in a few weeks' time, actually a week and a half's time, I could plant directly. So peas will go in where the trellises are. We've got some root crops to plant, and these will need to keep moving on, and the space grows. So we have to think in advance, what it is next that we want to start with. And so I'll put another grid together, and if you're interested, let's have a chat. I'd like to know your experiences, if you have worked with crystals in particular, how they might be used in gardening. So I hope that you might get out there, and if you haven't any seeds planted in pots, or don't have an arrangement to start seeds indoors, well, just reach out to me. I'll share some other experiences, how you can get started. It's really fun. I mean, I love it. It gives me peace, and it is my healing, to be honest. I was reminded last night in the party we were at, and someone said that really I didn't have time to mourn for my mother, because when she passed, it was straight away taking care of my father, who was in really poor shape. And it's been a rough ride for him. I mean, for all of us, really. But I haven't had the time to really, understand it and process it. So the garden becomes this place where I can find healing and peace just for a few minutes each day. So I hope you get that out of your garden, and if I could be of help in this beautiful process of gardening, let me know. All right? Cheers. Bye now.